Hello, ladies and gentlemen of the internet. My name is Zack Dufour, and I'm reviewing Cynthia Breazeal's speech, Rise of Personal Robots. No, not those robots. I mean the fun and social robots that actually have a face and personality and help you with your daily chores or whatnot. Primarily, what Cynthia Breazeal's goal is to convince the audience that robots are about people, from her team's experiments in communications, health, and media. But is her message clear and convincing? Does her approach capture the audience's attention, or leave them just, bored? Let's dive right into it. First off, what mostly grabs the audience's attention? Well, what better way to talk about new technology than to actually showing video of people interacting with the robots? This leaves the audience not only laughing, but fascinated. This shows a lot of positive wonder for the topic and personal enthusiasm for a visual presentation to cater to our viewers.
All right, so Leo and Cookie might have gotten off to a little bit of a rough start, but they get along great now.
But what also keeps the audience engaged is maintaining a common ground with them and utilizing these simple, colorful illustrations just to clarify what she's talking about. Before each experiment, she tells a certain desire she would like to use for each of these type of social robots to improve her daily life. The grandmother communicating and actually playing with her grandchildren through a small robot. The robotic health coach keeping track of the user's diet, encouraging him or her daily. The children playing with the interactive video game character that goes between the screen and real life as a robot are all reliable applications that people could be thrilled to have, thus keeping their attention throughout the whole speech. Furthermore, she also uses these simple, colorful cartoon drawings to illustrate the robot's usefulness for the people's understanding. Even though the characters are unusually happy and the obese children look baffled. But I digress. Similarly, simple charts are used to show the experiment's results, so they would cater to the audience's logic.
We looked at psychological involvement. How much empathy did you feel for the other person? We looked at overall engagement. And we looked at their desire to cooperate. And this is what we see when they use just the screen. It turns out when you add mobility, just the ability to roll around the table, you get a little more of a boost. And you get even more of a boost when you add the full expression. So it seems like this physical social embodiment actually really makes a difference.
After all, seeing is believing in most times. So utilizing this concept visually for the audience will make it clear for them in simple terms. However, besides her visual presentations that are really impressive, I have to generously give her a 3 out of 5 when it comes to dynamicism. I mean, the only reason I moved from a 2 is because she's more enthusiastic than she looks when it comes to her expressions and how she delivers her monotone voice.
So an interesting question is, does the social embodiment really matter? Does it matter that it's a robot? Is it really just the quality of advice and information that matters? Character becomes real and enters into their world. And when it's in their world, they can relate to it and play with it in a way that's fundamentally different from how they play with it on the screen.
You would think talking about robots socially interacting with us in our day-to-day lives and how that technology is within our grasp, you would think you'd be more excited about it, just ready for that to actually be utilized, especially for her. But no, she just seems a little more rehearsed, a bit technical in her monotone voice, and she just has this matter-of-fact attitude that come across as similar to as a grad student substituting for a teacher just to lecture on tectonic plates. Overall, she just needs to be more emotionally zealous for the topic, especially when it comes to common ground. I think she could improve on that. I know she's smiling and maybe giggling a little, but she just still overall comes out very monotone and very, well, not so much very, but just sounds more rehearsed. And believe me, the less unbelievable we sound like Tommy Wiseau,
I did not hit her. It's not true. It's bullshit. I did not hit her. I did not. Oh, hi, Mark.
the more believable we will be.
You are tearing me apart, Lisa!
Although she can be technical and monotone, the best Ted commandment that she really fits is, "Thou shalt dream a great dream, or show forth a wondrous new thing, or share something thou hast never shared before." Primarily, she starts out confessing that it was her dream to see humans interacting with robots ever since she saw the first Star Wars movie.
I love the idea of a robot that interacted with us much more like a helpful, trusted sidekick, something that would delight us, enrich our lives, and help us save a galaxy or two. So I knew robots like that didn't really exist, but I knew I wanted to build them.
Her interesting experiments illustrate her desire to see those robots actually interact with people daily, in many situations. Thus, her passion to discuss a new innovation is clear. When it actually boils down to the presentation, Breazeal utilizes the well-known speaker Nancy Duarte and her strategy to present both the subject's reported data and a narrative story as a compromise to deliver a great presentation. If you follow the speech's pattern that Breazeal uses, you will see that she utilizes common ground before each experiment, which could be highly related to connecting with the audience through ethos and showing some emotional appeal to them as pathos. Then she follows through with logos, as we clearly say, using logic through her experiments to just clarify what she's talking about so they convince and understand her. This is a nice balance that she uses, and as Duarte would say. However, what also balances it out even more, as far as simplicity and understanding, is her use of Raw Reynolds. Basically, he's a Zen guy on simplicity, taking out the unimportant stuff. And her charts and illustrations, he is very simple with these graphs and telling the results of the experiments. You see her using not so much numbers, but as like which category is higher or which category is lower in each experiment, so the audience will instantly understand and connect with her and be more convinced visually and just understand in very simple terms. Overall, what I've learned about Breazeal and what I would advise to my fellow classmates is not only to project your voice, emphasize with your hands, and maintain eye contact with your audience just to pull focus to the speaker. Not only will I say that, which she clearly does, but more importantly is to appeal to your audience with vivid and interesting visuals that cater to what you are specifically talking about. That way they will be able to follow through, especially if you're talking something as technical as robots and all these experiments. People can get lost in it. Having visuals and using simple things such as Raw Reynolds uses, as I explained previously, is perfect for that. And to utilize that is fantastic for a presentation, especially when you're a lot of your speech is a lot of data. And also, what she does is maintain a common ground with all of them, as I've emphasized before, and that's something to maintain, to always find some common ground. That way you'll better connect with your audience and they stay more engaged. That concludes my review for this speech. I hope you learned a lot and were most entertained. Now I leave you to your normal YouTubing schedule.